if Facebook will cooperate today. It is cooperating. Woo! Here we go. Hey everybody, I see you guys in the chat. If you're just hopping on, just say hello, where you're coming from, so we know where you guys are watching this from. We are also streaming this live on Facebook right now on my wall. So if you see us there, say hello there. And if you guys, my panelists, want to share this, now you can go ahead and share this or start a watch party on your page if you want. Okay, so originally, you guys, we were going to do an opportunity presentation. However, we are going to mix it up just a little bit today because most of us have already seen the presentation before. And if you haven't, go to the MDC fan page. There's one sitting right there. You can go watch it, or take the free tour and you can watch the 4 videos, and that's basically the presentation right there. So we're gonna do things a little bit different today, and we're gonna talk about our stories and why we joined, how we kind of got involved into this industry. And for those of you guys who are new to my page and maybe haven't seen all these beautiful leaders before, just real quick, let me just tell you guys, these guys are all rock stars. They range from anywhere from 25K all the way up to super affiliate. They've been with me since almost day one, and Sonia literally since day one, back in the day. And this is my team, you guys. This is my amazing team that has been there since before Hempworx. Many of us came in before Hempworx, and some of us came in right when Hempworx started. So I'm very excited to share this call with you guys, and thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Zoom also. All right, guys, so here's what I want to start with. Those of you brand new, I'm just going to tell my quick story. It's going to be very brief. If you want the long version, there's videos out there you can go look for. But I'm going to give you guys the short lowdown of kind of how I came to be into MyDailyChoice. I joined as an affiliate in 2014, similar to Sonia. And you guys, I started with the 3 sprays when we only had 3 sprays. Long story short, at the same year, I also got sick, right? So I began my natural alternative solution to my life, started looking into different natural alternatives to my health and wellness. And that led me into the CBD industry. So when we moved to Las Vegas in 2016, I actually got my medical marijuana card, not knowing there was a difference between CBD and THC. So I had to do lots of education, of course, back then. And I realized that dispensary CBD wasn't that exciting. And at first, I thought maybe CBD wasn't all that. Maybe it didn't work. I don't know. But it wasn't until a couple months later, I got some samples from a farm in Kentucky. And when I got these products back, you guys, my health began to transform. My life began to change very rapidly. And I reached out to the people that you guys are looking at right now. Okay. When I had my first experience with this, and I said, you guys, I'm going into the CBD business because I know that if I could have these results, I know the rest of the world's going to have these results too. So because of that, I want to get this out to the masses as quickly as possible. Are you in or out? And every single one of them, some of them gave me crap initially. All right. I'm just saying, Josh Lacey maybe was not sold on cannabis right away. Just kidding. But even like when I was talking to Ashley, I said, I'm about to start a weed store, joking around. And you guys, it was just crazy. So we all started kind of at the same time back in 2017, and all these leaders joined us at that time. And a lot has happened since then. Okay, so 2017, you guys, we ended that year 9.7 million in sales. Our company numbers literally doubled every single month for almost a year straight. Judy Stallings hit super affiliate in I think 8 or 9 months or something insane, setting company records across the globe, really. And 2018, you guys, we became the fastest growing network marketing company in the industry. We hit 100 million in sales. 2019, we did 170 million in sales. So the trajectory of our growth has been insane since we kind of brought Hempworx into the MyDailyChoice business. So I don't want to take up too much time because I want you guys to hear from these amazing people, and just so you guys can get to know them a little bit and know their heart. Why did they choose MDC? Why did they join Hempworx when Hempworx came out? What was their motivating factor? Out of all the companies out there they could have went to, all the leaders that they could have joined, out of all the products they could have sold and aligned themselves to, why did they choose this company? And why have they been here since literally since day one? So without further ado, I'm going to bring up our first guest, which is my friend, my brother from another mother. He's the only guy on the call today, Josh Lacey. And Josh and I, you guys, let me just put it like this. We were broke together, okay? We've been in many companies together in our history and trying to make things work. And it wasn't until we joined forces into Hempworx that things really started rocking and rolling. So I'm going to let him tell his story from his perspective. But without further ado, Josh, please unmute, say hello, and let our beautiful audience here know a little bit about your story and why you got involved with us.
Definitely, thank you, and very honored to be a part of this. And I'm looking at the chat and the participants, and everything is going crazy. So welcome everyone. And well, as Jenna said, the reason that I got involved with this company is because of her story. Because I knew her several years ago, and we were network marketers trying to find the right company to work together. And I remember her being sick. And I remember all of it. And when she started taking CBD, and I seen her hair growing back, I seen that her face was clearing up, she was feeling better. I remember when she couldn't eat anything. Doctors were saying that they couldn't help her. And whenever I seen the change in her, there was no question. I was like, I'm absolutely in. And and what a ride it's been for the past 3 years. Not only the company growth, not just the products, but what this has done for me it's changed my life in more ways than one. And for the most part, it's my mindset and the just the things that I've learned from this group of people. I mean, we literally started from day one, and we became a family. And I've learned so much from everyone on here, and I've seen everyone grow who is on here, and I know it's changed all of our lives. And that's the thing that really is different to me about this company is the community. We may not all even be on the same team or anything, but we all still work together to help everyone. And we've done that many times. We've done boot camps together. We've done training. Everyone just wants to help others. That's our passion, and that's what we've been able to accomplish with this. And the leadership, the growth of just the mindset that Jenna's even grown so much, and she's teaching us. And it was not even a year ago. I was still living in Missouri. I was still in college. I was about to graduate. I was driving a beat up Ford F-150 that barely made it to Las Vegas, but it was all about setting goals. It was all about kind of breaking my paradigm and getting out of a situation that was kind of negative. And that's why I moved to Las Vegas not even a year ago. And it was because I set goals, and it's because of the leadership here that they pushed me to be better, to be a part of something more than just something, not just me. It was so much bigger. And I always say, the Zig Ziglar quote is, if you want to get what you want, you need to help others get what they want. And we've absolutely done that in more ways than one, not just financially, but with the products and how it's changing and helping so many people. So I couldn't be more excited, more blessed. I know we say this all the time, but I still feel like we're just getting started. I really do. And so coming from nothing and learning so much and being where I am now, I'm just so grateful and blessed, and couldn't be happier. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on, because you guys are going to hear some amazing stories by some amazing people and my friends. And I just couldn't be happier. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing, Josh. And you guys, Josh is 25K. And you know what? He literally moved from a small town, which, you know, in all of our training, we talk about how you need to change your environment sometimes, right? To kind of get out of your own way so that you can challenge yourself to think better, dream bigger. And that's what I've seen Josh do since he's moved here. I see him doing all these things I've never even done in Las Vegas, and I've been here longer. He's like always on the go. Of course, not now with the current world, but you know, he's always, you know, out there and getting himself out there and learning new things and new experiences. So kudos to you, Josh, for breaking out of your own, you know, out of your own way and becoming the leader that you are. So we're grateful that you're with us, and thank you for sharing your story. All right, I want to move on now to Ashley K, another transplant from the East Coast, who also moved to Las Vegas. We got 3 Las Vegas people on here today. And Ashley is a very good friend of mine. She's my sister from another mister. That's what we always say. And, you know, if you don't know much about her, she's a 100K affiliate. She's the first Black-owned female CBD store owner in Las Vegas. She's been featured in Mike Vegas magazine for top influential women of our time for last year, and I think probably the year before that. I don't know. I was sitting in my dentist one day and I was flipping through a magazine. I was like, Ashley's in here. What is this? So that it's like, look at this rock star. But not only that, you guys, she's a very good friend of mine and has also really challenged herself to kind of grow as a person. And her growth has been phenomenal to watch and be a part of. So Ashley, without further ado, please tell us your story. Why network marketing? When I met you, you were anti-network marketing, and here you are. So tell us what changed, why MDC, and all that good stuff.
I knew you was going to say that. Every single time we share our story together, you always bring that up, and that is a very important part of the story. I can't miss that part because a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people have a stigma about network marketing, and that used to be a joke between you and I. We used to joke all the time about it. And when you mentioned that you were going to start a weed store, I was like, well, good luck with that, because I don't know if I'm going to help you support that. Like, you're my homegirl and everything. And I just was like, I don't know if I can do that. But similar to Josh, like, I knew you before all of this. I knew you when you were sick. I knew you when you were dealing with some things, and I was dealing with similar situations as well. So when I saw the shift within you and saw how the products were helping you, and you're like, hey, Ash, you have to try this oil. Like, if you don't do anything else, just try the oil. And at the time, you know, I was, you know, working in, you know, the government and different things like that. So I didn't want to tap into it. I had a stigma against it. I was like, oh, I can't do that. It's illegal and all this stuff. But I was like, well, something inside of me was like, you just have to try it. Like, you know, she hasn't steered you wrong. You haven't done, you know, she hasn't done anything crazy. So just trust the process. And it took a while for me to actually accept it. But once I tried it, I saw a massive shift within myself. And as you said, I felt like I was obligated to share it with the world. And if anything, help you with your passion and with your dream. Because, you know, as, you know, us being close and, you know, being friends and sisters and all that, I'm like, well, let me support her, because if she really is adamant about this, I'm just going to take the leap of faith and I'm just going to support her, and we're just going to see where it goes. Like, what's the worst that could happen, right? We've been at many network marketing companies before. This can't be the worst of it. And to my surprise, like, at first I didn't believe in myself. Like you said, like, I was like, oh, I'm not a leader, I'm not this. And you kept trying to push me, and you would always speak life into me. You would always tell me what you saw. And I'm like, okay, I kind of see it, but I think you're crazy. Now I'm like, okay, Jenna, you're a little cuckoo, because you're saying I can do this, you saying I can do that, and you see all this great, amazing things. I'm like, I don't know about any of this. But it took a while for me to really tap into it. And once I did, I took that leap of faith and decided to take the business from a part-time mindset to a full-time mindset. And when I walked away from my job in 2018, security, you know, having benefits, being secure, having salary, you know, there was really nothing wrong with my job at the time. So for me to just hit you up that day, I know you was like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, I'm going to put on this crazy shirt and I'm going to go to work and I'm giving my resignation, and that's it. Like, I'm walking away. I done hit a 5-figure check in Hempworx, and I'm just walking away. And that's what I did. And even knowing the network marketing industry, that sales go up and down, and it's not always, you know, how it is, but that was my act of faith. You know, my second part. My first part was joining you in the first place, just trusting the process. And feeling like, okay, if I can help her fulfill her dreams, because I genuinely can hear through your voice and feel your heart that Hempworx was something that you just knew was going to blow up. And I'm like, I can just help her, if any, nothing else. And my dreams eventually would come true. And that's exactly what happened, because 2 weeks after I decided to quit my job is when I made the decision with you when we went out to the retreat to say, I'm moving over to the West Coast and I'm just going to take another leap of faith. And I know you were thinking I was crazy. You're like, hold on, you just quit your job, you know, you just hit a milestone in Hempworx, you just braked up all this great stuff. International market is getting ready to boom, but okay, now you're getting ready to pick up your whole life, you and your girls, and move all the way over here. And I'm like, yep, let's go. And 2 months after that, my life has never been the same since then. You know, July 2018, I moved out here to Vegas, and my business literally blew up. Everything blew up. Like my whole life shifted. Like I went from coming out here, you know, when we flew out here, as you know, we came out with nothing. I came out with no vehicle. We came out with no furniture. I came out here with no set place to live. Like I had no sight of anything. But me taking a leap of faith through network marketing and seeing myself turn into and transform into a leader that I don't think I could possibly be made me feel like I can do anything, honestly. So once I got out here, I was able to not just fulfill my dream, but help other people all across the world fulfill their dream. And, you know, being able to, like you said, open up the CBD store, crystal store here in Las Vegas. When I came out here, that was not something we talked about. That wasn't something that I had a dream to do. But once I got out here, I'm like, well, you know, I want to take this business a step further. I want to, you know, really truly help people on a whole nother level. And I felt like opening up a store and having CBD there and being able to educate people in person was something that I genuinely wanted to do. And that was also a dream of mine, to have a crystal shop, to have a meditation location. So for me, I was like, oh, I helped her with her dream. Now this dream is manifested, and it has just been a domino effect to the international market opening, and me having the freedom and the financial ability last summer to be able to spend a whole month in Nigeria. Like that is like dreams coming true, to just be there to witness firsthand, you know, the lives being changed internationally through this opportunity, through an opportunity that I told you from the beginning I was not interested in doing and wasn't really excited about doing. And just to see it just always, when I reflect on that story, it always takes me back, you know, to just humble beginnings and knowing, coming from, you know, previous years, being homeless, you know, dealing with all types of financial crazy hardships, as I know many of others on this call have dealt with government assistance and from food stamps to Section 8 and all of the struggles that life has, you know, and being a single mom, to being able to have this opportunity today where we're in the middle of a crisis, still being able to bless people all over the world, to still being able to, what's the day? Thursday, still getting paid. And then not really knowing the days of the week about it. Like, okay, wait, did we get paid today? I had to just think about it, you know? And to see my team, you know, have that same excitement and have people across the world, you know, making posts or talking inside the team chat about, oh my God, they're excited that they're getting paid in the middle of this chaos. That makes me feel so good inside, knowing that the decision that I made to partner with you, the decision that I made to help you with your dream, is now being able to bless the whole world, to help many others with their dreams. So again, I always want to thank you, Jenna, from the bottom of my heart. I can never tell you enough how grateful I am for your friendship, your leadership, and just your love is just amazing. So I'm not going to hold it up because I get emotional in a second, but I want you all to hear the amazing stories from all my other friends on this call, because we all have, you know, a powerful journey here. And I just want to thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I couldn't have done it without you and everybody on this call, for sure. So you guys, I've seen the craziest transformations in my life. And you're literally looking at the people that probably made the most drastic transformations in their life, which is why they're on this call today. When I met Ashley, she was telling me all the things she couldn't do. And I kept arguing with her. I was like, yes, you can, because I already see 2 years later and you're on stage and you're on the cover of this and you're doing this, and I see your PR and I see all the things that are happening in your life. And if you could just grab a hold of that vision, you could own that and you could be magnificent. And she used to think I was so crazy, but you know what? She became all those things anyway. So I'm just so blessed to be able to be a part of your journey. And with that being said, let's bring up the next speaker we have, which is Megan Shudark, another really good friend of mine. And her story is a very impressive one. And Megan, I hope you tell it from the beginning, because I love your story. And whenever I tell people stories, I often think of yours, because in this business, we encounter people that have a lot of excuses. I mean, it's just an everyday kind of dragon we have to slay. There's lots of excuses on why you can't follow your dreams. There's lots of excuses why you can't do network marketing, why you can't be great. And Megan was a person that said, I'm done living my life based on excuses and limitations, and I'm going to make a change no matter what I have to do, even if I have to walk a mile there and back to get signal on my cell phone to build this thing. I'm going to do what I have to do. So without further ado, Megan, will you please tell us your story? Megan's a 100K affiliate, been with us also since day one, and just phenomenal story. So go ahead, Megan, tell us the truth about your story.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm grateful to be on the call today. I had when I was really actually getting ready to get out of the network marketing industry, I had spent so much money, on things that I never used. And I was getting ready to get out, but I had actually probably, I guess you can call stalked Jenna for a while. And I was like, I don't care what this girl does. I mean, every little thing she does turns to gold. I want that in my life. I was very money motivated when I started. Not gonna lie. I mean, the products are incredible. Changed my husband's life. I'm sure many of you have heard that story, but I was money motivated. And the reason for that was because when I first started this, I was broke financially. I was broke physically, I was broke mentally, and I was in a rough situation. I was living in a rundown trailer, and nothing wrong with mobile homes, but the one we had was really bad. It had, it was falling apart from the ceiling to the ground, and I didn't have a car. I had zero transportation. My car had been repossessed. I was taking care of my husband full time. So a lot of times you hear people say, I don't have a lot of time to do this. That's just an excuse, because I was taking care of my husband full time. I have 2 kids I was taking care of full time. And that's a lot of time that it takes up. Thankfully, I don't have to do so much of that anymore, but that was one of the big things that I was worried about, is if I had enough time. But I was sick of making excuses. I barely had $100 to get started in this industry. I think it was like, I forget the dates. I think it was like May 1st-ish. And we had just gotten my husband's disability income. It was $1,200 for a family of 4. That was to pay our bills, feed us, and whatever else. It barely did any of that. And I had $100 left. It was actually supposed to be for our food budget, but I invested into MyDailyChoice because I could see the vision, and I trusted Jenna. And I knew when she told me the vision of this company, of where it was going to go, I wanted to be a part of that. It was going to be a household name. It is a household name. And I really wanted to be a part of that. So I invested in it with my last $100, and I instantly went into panic mode, because I was thinking, I just started a social media online business. I have no internet. I don't know how I'm going to run this. And I don't have a car, so I can't, do the traditional go out and hand out cards and talks to people. So I found out, a McDonald's really close to my house. I mean, depends on what you call close, but a mile away. And I figured out my phone, I could connect to free Wi-Fi and used it that way. I had a phone, but I didn't even have cell phone service. Like, we had nothing. And so I walked there and I used the free Wi-Fi, and I would stay there for, 6 hours. If you buy a drink or something, they'll let you stay there. And so I stayed there a lot of the day, and I would build this business online. I built it on social media, and grew. I mean, it grew quickly. It grew really quickly. It definitely didn't happen overnight, but it took off. And so I was very grateful that I had a complete life change. I was able to get my family out of that trailer. I was finally able to get a car. I've had 2 cars now since this 3-year journey. I just bought my very first brand new car, like 6 miles on it. And I never imagined that was going to happen in my life. I just bought a brand new house, also new, no one's ever lived in it. I never thought I was going to be a homeowner. 3 years ago, I never thought I was going to own a home. And all of these things started happening because I threw those excuses out the window. I'm really grateful, especially at the time we're in right now. I talk to people every day who struggle with awful mindsets right now. And I'm thankful that I've had these 3 years of training and mentorship of how to get my mind right. Because, 3 years ago, I would just be in a whole dark place right now. But I have grown as a person. I've grown my mind to really be able to work through these times like this. So I'm really thankful for that. But I'm just an everyday average person. I don't have any like special crazy, like degrees or anything like that. I barely finished high school. I didn't go to college or anything like that. I had a vision. I was very self-motivated and driven to get my family out of the place that we were at, stop living off the government, and determine my own future and create my own financial security for me and my family. So that's why I joined this company and why I continue to stay here and planted my flag firmly. But yeah, thank you for having me. We have some incredible stories. We're all just everyday average Joes and I guess average Janes, you could say, that made a success with this company. I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Megan. I remember one thing you shared with me when it was our first year working together through Hempworx, and you said, it's the school time is coming around, and normally I can't buy my kids supplies, let alone new shoes or anything for the school year, and they have to go to school with whatever they've got. And I remember it was the first year you were able to buy them new clothes, new shoes, new supplies. And that was like I get goosebumps even thinking about it. Just the transformation that you've made has been truly inspiring. And I know a lot of people, especially now, can relate to your story for sure. So if you guys are sitting here watching this and you're thinking about all the ways that this is going to be too hard, just think about if you're going to be stuck there forever. That's way harder than it is to just grow a little and learn a little and invest in yourself just a little bit, because you never know what kind of transformation you can make, not only for yourself, but for your entire family. So Megan, thank you for sharing. And with that being said, I'm going to bring up our next speaker, which is Alicia Pizzina, who has become one serious kind of rock star lately, featured on Eric Worre's stage recently, and has been invited to speak on Marina Worre's stage here at the end of May. She's a 250K affiliate, also joined us very, very early on in our Hempworx journey, and is a rock star, also great friend. She's also a transplant to the West Coast. She moved to Arizona, so she's close enough to Vegas. But Alicia, tell us your story. What was your life like before Hempworx and MDC? And tell us a little bit where you're at today.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Jenna. And thanks for having me on. What amazing stories. And Megan, your story always brings tears to my eyes. It did the first time I heard it and every time you tell it. What was it? I'm the last one to the party of this group, right? I joined a little bit later than everyone else. I think I found you in July. And I was at the time, Daniel and I were just, regular corporate America people. He was working a corporate job, too many hours, too long of a drive, not enough money. And I was working at a car dealership, answering phones and making coffee and stalking people on Bookface. I was, at the time, I was in network marketing. I was, working a business, but it wasn't really working. And I was looking for something new, and Hempworx started coming across my timeline. And like Ashley, I saw that and I was like, what? They can't be serious. They can't sell this stuff online. And I started researching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, I love cannabis, and I can finally, have a passion for sharing about a plant I love and I know what good it does. It took me a couple weeks, I think, to get on the phone with Jenna, because I did some digging about the company and everything. And found her and got her on the phone. And seriously, Jenna, after hearing your vision and your story and where you saw what we had planned for the future, I was sold, and I ordered my product. I waited. Back then we had we've seen some growth, and that's what I'll get to that, but I waited a bit. But once I got my hands on that product and I started taking it, and I felt like just incredible. I had more energy, a fog had lifted. I just started telling people about it, and I remember we were so excited just telling people what this product was doing. We were so just everywhere, right? And people were coming on, and we've seen this amazing growth. I mean, we've seen the company go through crazy shipping times before we had a corporate staff. Now, like, guys, now is the time to join. We've been through the crap, right? Now they have it dialed in. Josh and Jenna have hired like an amazing corporate staff. We have shipping is on point. We've expanded into other countries. We're just growing so fast. But this business has changed my life from that. Answering phones at a car dealership, like the things that we've done, we've been able to pay off all of our debts. I was one of those people who had like $10,000 in department store credit card debts that I was paying the minimum payment on every month for like 10 years. So you can imagine how much those clothes cost me after 10 years. And I still remember the day. I remember crying the day I got to like pay off. I sat down at my computer after we got paid 1 month and paid off every single credit card that I had. And it just felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulder. And then shortly after that, I mean, I was able to quit that job. I was able to tell Daniel to quit his job and come home. We were able to start looking for our home in Arizona. We got moved out here. And I mean, business is just, since then, so many amazing things have happened. And I'm forever grateful for Josh and Jenna and MDC. And Jenna, your mentorship, it's what I was looking for when I joined the company. And now all the things that you guys are doing, like Josh and Jenna do weekly trainings for us every week. You guys, the entire company has their mentorship and their guidance, and we're so blessed. So this is your time, guys. This is the company to join. Everyone needs to do this.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Alicia's right. You guys, we had to go through growing pains, like legit. When you grow 1,100% in 1 year, we didn't sleep for a year straight. Okay, none of us. We were in crazy, intense momentum hustle mode. And you know what? In a way, we kind of still are. Like, not a lot has changed other than Josh isn't physically shipping packages himself anymore. So we have leveled up, thankfully, and adjusted to the growth and the magnitude of the company now. But yeah, Alicia's right. Now is the time to join. If you haven't joined yet, now is the time, because it's so much easier than it used to be. And you can always create your own momentum through your own personal effort. So moving right along, I want to bring up our next speaker, which is Sonia Line. She's our 500K affiliate from Canada. And you guys, Sonia has actually joined MyDailyChoice, I think probably the same week that I joined. I think we were right there day one, right when MDC started. Sonia was one of our very first affiliates. And, speaking of growing pains, like, we've got stories before Hempworx, growing pains, and that's not what this call is about, of course. But Sonia's been there since day one. She calls herself a founding member, and her team she calls the founding team. But Sonia, tell us a little bit about your experience. I know you've been a networker before you joined MDC. You had the experience there already. But what was the difference, and why have you stayed? Honestly, you've been here for 6 years now, and you've seen the highs, you've seen the lows, you've seen the ups, the downs, the crazy, and the awesome. So tell us a little bit about your story before and kind of now, and your story. We just would love to hear it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jenna. Thank you, everyone that came before. I always love hearing your stories. I learn a little bit more every time. And if it wouldn't be for Josh and Jenna, I mean, we all wouldn't be here today. So have to bring it back to you. And yeah, we have lots of stories, definitely, for the past 6 years. I could share a lot, but what I'd like to really put on the table today is, well, let me introduce myself first. I'm from New Brunswick, Canada. I'm French Canadian. I used to be a massage therapist. I'm a mom of 2 wonderful boys, married for 13 years. I moved out of my parents when I was close to 14 years old. I worked 2 jobs back then, trying to go to school, ended up with a monster that abused me mentally, physically. At first it wasn't like that. And I thought, you know what, I deserve better. So after a few years being stuck in that cycle, learning I don't want to work a job, learning that I wanted to work for myself, because I was raised with entrepreneur mindset people. My parents had a convenience store. They were very great people. They raised me into sports. I was a grade A student, always like looking for something different. I knew there was something more out of life. I'm from a very small French village. So here we're backed up, like 5 to 10 years backed up from everyone. So I learned about network marketing later in my years, but I did direct sales before. When I got into massage therapy, it was great. I did that for 10 years, and it started getting harder on me because I wasn't mentally working on myself, and also physically the work started getting hard. So I added a company, which was kind of cool. It was adult toys company. And back there with a little small town with maybe 10, 12,000 people, it's a company that you have to always find new customers, and it's not something that people bought every weekend. It's definitely not something that was easy to get a residual. I was making 40% on the commissions. I had to buy my own stock. I had to buy all the ordering forms, the catalogs, and every 3 months they came out with new stock. So I was pretty much making money from friends and people I love, buying things that, not saying it's not essential, but obviously right now, when you think of what we're going on in this world, I think, are people buying these things, or are they buying things that changes and helps them daily? So I had fun doing that. And then after, I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep doing my massage work, started a family. And I kept having people call me all the time, trying to recruit me in their companies. And I was like, no, when I choose the next one, I knew I was going to do network marketing, but I was looking for something long-term. I was looking for something that I could get mentored. I always felt I needed to be taken under a wing. I wanted to be my full potential, not have to hush who I really am. The one thing I learned about Jenna is be who you are, speak your truth. I remember telling her a few times, man, you say things that I want to say, but I don't dare saying. And every time she kept posting it, it just made me become a little bit more, okay, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. So when I met her online, it was even before MDC, I started following her. I was like, who's that chick, right? So Jenna has a great personality, and I actually met a few people before MDC. And when I was looking for my opportunity online, I was broke, I was tired, and I was really like burnt myself out. My husband owned his own mechanic shop. I had my own clinic, and we were doing good, but really we had no time to enjoy life. We made good money, but we lived for the weekend and pretty much beach vacation. So I ended up just not loving what I did anymore. Didn't have a purpose. I wasn't excited for life, and I was heavily medicated. I had to battle addiction of that myself for a long time. So when I learned about this company, I was actually just leaving a second one. I was introduced to a second company that was a travel one, and it was done online. So I was like, okay, I trusted the girl. I'm like, you got me interested. I got in there. The company was great. I was one of the first. It changed comp plans 3 times. It changed the price to join from 21 to 25 to 50 to 250 and within 6 months. So, and I'm in a camp with my baby. So just let you know, we're living a dream right now, but I don't have an office. So you get to hear baby Nika. But honestly, when I introduced that company to a lot of friends and family, I was embarrassed because they changed so much. And I just felt, you know, I don't want to do this again. So I backed away. I invested in myself. I went to, I don't know if you guys know GoPro. I started reading that book, started following Recruit 30 People in 30 Days. And I was ready for an opportunity. And then I was invited on a hangout. Back then, Zooms were hangout. And that's where I met the CEO. I believe Jenna was on there. We heard about the comp plan. I didn't know what a binary that paid out 85% meant, but everybody on that call was excited about that. I had no idea about residual income, how to grow a team. All I knew is I wanted to do this. I knew these people were successful. Josh was younger than me, so that was cool. And I said, you know what, I believe in signs. So we were actually going hunting, me and my husband, deer hunting. And they told me that there was deer antler velvet in this product, guys. So that for me was the sign. So I joined the first day. I got my products 2 months later because I'm in Canada, started the products, but I got 10 people the first week. I think I made it was over $1,000 anyways my first week. I couldn't believe it. And all I wanted to do is learn. So when I heard they did a Baltimore event, I maxed out my credit card, got all my mom's air miles. I flew to Baltimore, met Josh and Jenna right then and there, and planted my flag. Never been to a networking event, never knew about self-development or anything like that. So for me, I felt at home for the first time in my life. I felt it could be me. I've learned about working and growing. And at the first time, I thought, I need to do this. And I was so excited, and I kept focusing on the wrong things. And we can go on a whole hour just talking about that. I drove Josh and Jenna nuts, and I drove myself and even the people around me nuts. But I was obsessed with succeeding at this, because I knew if I was going to succeed and bring this to my friends and family in Canada, I wanted to have it documented. So here we are, 5-6 years later, documented. I've been able to have my second kid. I've been able to retire my husband. We're now building our dream cottage. We've been able to travel more than ever. My son was 2 months old. We were in Nashville at one of our company events, meeting some of you wonderful people. And I always thought, I know I can do this. I just don't know how. So in the last 5 years, we've grown from one customer service to, I don't know how many you guys have now, the corporate staff. The products we have now, 5 different brands, over, I don't know how many products we have now, I lost count, but amazing to see that we're growing global. And with all of this, I have to say thank you for the team, because my teams now became my family, and that's the biggest part. So I know somebody invited you here today. Maybe it was a friend, a family, or maybe you just fell on this video. So make sure you get back on the person who shared this with you, because you also you probably want to change your life right now, because situations happened. I know for me, if this would be 5 years ago and we would be in a lockdown, I would push it even harder than I ever could. So thank you everyone for being here in this story. And I know that there's just so much more. I feel like we're just getting started. And the fact that you can build this from your cell phone and be able to create a life where you're happy, healthy, wealthy, that's definitely something that I want to invite you guys to look in further to. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jenna, for having me on. I am super blessed to be here tonight.
Sharing, Sonia. You guys, if anybody has like any takeaway you want to get from her story, just think about this. She literally never gave up, and I think that's a very key factor in anybody's success, because you don't have to have it figured out. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to come from a wealthy background. You don't have to have any experience, really. And even if your experience is, I failed before I got here, it's okay, because we've got all walks of life here. And I think what Sonia's shown us is, if you just don't quit, it'll eventually pay off for you. So thank you for sharing, Sonia. Now we're going to bring our last speaker, which is our super affiliate, Judy Stallings. And how crazy, when I met Judy, this was, I don't know, cosmic, the planets aligned. I don't know what, it was crazy when how I found Judy. Okay, I was literally at her sister's house, who is also in our business now. She came a little bit later, but I was at her sister's house and we were just having a regular conversation. Judy walks through the door and said, "Hey, what's that CBD? You got any for my dog?" I said, "Yeah, sure, try it with your dog." She tried it, and I'm going to let her finish the rest of this story, but as they say, the rest is history. So she went very quickly from, I'm going to try this oil, to super affiliate in like lightning fast. So Judy, without further ado, would you please tell us your story and what life was like before and where you're at today?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me, Jenna. I actually met Jenna, or I saw her in passing back in 2014. And then I kind of stalked her online for a while. Back in those days, she called herself the Ninja Marketer. And what I liked about her was, like Sonia said, she was out there. She was in your face. She wasn't afraid to say what everybody else wants to say but doesn't. But it was pretty crazy to be there at my sister's house and there be Jenna. So I've lived in Las Vegas going on 6 years now. I think like in 2 weeks, it'll be 6 years that I moved out here to Las Vegas. And I believe Jenna came not long after I did. But we had met in Las Vegas before before Jenna had moved out here. So it was, kind of a coincidence to run into her here in Las Vegas. But like she said, at the time when we got together, I wasn't really looking to be in network marketing. In fact, I was looking to get out of network marketing. I've been in a company for about 6.5 years, but things just weren't, it just wasn't like it used to be. Just a whole lot of different things that had changed. I wasn't earning enough to really be able to do that full time. And so I was actually going to get a job, but fate, as fate would have it, saw Jenna that day. She had all these products there with her, the CBD oil. I've been hearing so much about how great it is for so many things. And I had a dog at the time, Jake, who had been battling a illness for about 6 years. Not an, I mean, he didn't appear to be sick, but he had an illness that we'd been treating for over 6 years. And I decided that I wanted to try the CBD oil for Jake. Never in a million years did I imagine what would happen. So I got home, I started looking into it, I started reading up on it, I started looking into the company, the compensation plan, because I'd been in network marketing for about 6 years. I kind of knew comp plans, and what I saw was just too exciting not to share. So a lot of people that might be watching this may have seen me come on Facebook live video, like, didn't know a whole lot, but I was like, hey guys, hey, I'm going to sell this CBD oil, and just talked a little bit about that product. And that video completely changed my life, because so many people that had followed me over the years, friends on Facebook, when they saw that I was getting involved in a CBD company, everybody wanted to be a part of that, because at the time we were kind of on the forefront. There weren't too many CBD companies out there. We kind of set the tone of what's happened in the last 3 years, only we always do it better. But so what happened was my life just blew up. Built a huge team. And like Jenna said, I was able to hit that rank of super affiliate in just under 10 months, which was crazy. And the thing I love so much about network marketing is the fact that an average person like me came from a very small town in Ohio, one red light, worked really hard all my life, just constantly having to work, sometimes 3 jobs at a time. But it allows the average person like me and like all these people here with you today to be able to be successful and be able to live life on their own terms, and to just earn an income that changes their lives and everyone around themselves lives. But what I really love about My Daily Choice is I believe it goes one step further. Sure, people can do well in a network marketing company, but in My Daily Choice, I have seen so many amazing people that have joined me that have been able to change their lives and their families' lives. And I just feel like we've done it on such a bigger scale, just based on the products that we have, the leadership that we have, the training that we have, the systems that we have, everything that we have is just over and above a lot of companies out there. So I would just love to invite everyone that's watching this today to get back with the person who shared the video with you. There is so much success out there for you, and My Daily Choice is a company that you can find that success with. It's completely changed my life. The products have changed my life. Everything about this entire business. These people are my friends, and to be honest, we're all on the same team under Jenna, but the 6 of us, we are not part of each other's team. So we're like sidelines to each other, but we're great friends. We get together, we train together. And I mean, it's just so open and honest, and the friendships, the training, the self-development has been amazing. And I would just encourage you right now, especially, it's always good to have that plan B, because we never know when we're going to come into a situation like we're in right now, where we're quarantined from our homes. I mean, today I got paid, I still made 5 figures today, and everybody's quarantined. So I just really appreciate you, Jenna. I'm so thankful to have gotten this opportunity and to see you that day that I saw you. And I'm going to go now because the dog is getting ready to be crazy. But thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's so appreciated. Love all you guys.
Thank you, Judy. So just so you guys know, like you saw, we're all walks of life. We're just regular people that came in and came together, really, and kind of just paved the way for what you see today. I mean, these are the OGs of Hempworx. You're staring at them right now. These are all documented 6 and 7 figure earners. And of course, we're not here to guarantee anything, because you can join today and do absolutely nothing and your paycheck will be 0, unfortunately. But on the flip side, you can come in right now and work your booty off and do the things and follow the system and the step-by-step duplication model that we've already planned out, and you could have massive success. So again, results not guaranteed. I'm supposed to say that, and that's for compliance. Okay, so whoever in compliance that's watching this video, that's for you. But thank you guys for hopping on today and sharing this time with us. I just wanted you guys to hear it from the OGs themselves, so that you know that there is a way for you too. And that it's not just for people that have been in network marketing their whole life. It's not just for people that have been at the top rank of every company and has that status. You know, it's for everyday people just like me and you. And that's what I love most about this company. So thank you guys for hopping on, and we will see you on our next one. Bye guys.